Before this episode starts, I would like to lay out an apology for Friday. Well, a video was meant to premiere called the Ninja Warrior Iceberg, and to be fair, yes, I did steal it, but I gave credit to the original owner, so I thought it would be fine. But apparently, in the description of his video, he said, don't use it, don't steal it at all, period. And I will fully admit, I did not read that description. And I'm sorry. I decided to waste 9 hours of my life trying to make that video, and then it's just getting destroyed by the fans. Currently, I have it. Currently, it's deleted, but still on my desktop. So if you guys ever want to see it, you can let me know. But I don't think it's happening, and yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. But anyway, I just wanted to apologize for that before we get into this episode of the podcast, but still, enjoy it. Hey, what's everyone? Welcome to another of the Ninja Warrior podcast. Tonight is a very special night, as today is the first time in over a year and a half that we're recording in person. Hell yes. It's currently June of 2021 as we're recording this. The newest episode just aired. And we were so excited to do an in-person meetup. And while, once again, the rest of the season will probably not be in-person meetups, I am so excited because, once again, we're doing an in-person meetup. And also, just to let you guys know, this is going to be the final podcast episode before I go away. Late in July. I already announced it. I put some details in. You can check out, the big important update video that basically lays out the details for what's going to be happening during those 2 weeks that I'm away, maybe even 3 weeks, anyhow I feel. But as soon as I'm back, as soon as I'm ready to cover more Ninja, we will cover more Ninja and catch up. But nonetheless, we have episode 3 to talk about, and does anybody have any non-spoiler related opinions they want to lay out? Dude, the competitive field for this episode, it was just like ginormous and amazing. Yes, we had people like Vance Walker, we had RJ Roman, and so many people too. People calling the Megalo, making history into the Young Guns. It's just crazy. I know. Oh, this episode was really, really intense and really, really cool. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than the previous episode, and I am very happy to be covering it here. But anyway, let's go on and cover the brand new obstacles. So for this course, the first 3 obstacles were the same as the first episode, which was striding steps, as overpass, and the split decision being the log one and domino effect. But the 4th and 5th obstacles would change for this one. The 4th obstacle is now known as the Air Surfer. What do you think of this? Honestly, I'd say this reminds me a lot of Slingshot, which on its own was a version of the Flying Rod and Stairhopper. Yeah, Air Surfer, I'd say, is a pretty unique concept, because we've never really seen, a type of grip like that. We've never really used something like a surfer before, but it was a unique concept. It got a lot of people, but it mostly seemed like the surfer often just slipped off its landing platform, or just barely, he didn't fall off. You saw that minnow jump. Oftentimes people would just barely stay on or miss it entirely. Yeah, it tripped up a lot of people. And then we had, Pretzel Twist. I don't think I really like this one too much. If I'm being honest, it's a little slow for my taste. I'd say maybe remove at least one of the handholds and make it a little more fast-paced, because to me it just looks like one of the slowest obstacles. I don't know. I can definitely see what you mean though. I like its design. I find the handles kind of funny, but I get why they did it. It was fine. It didn't take out as much as Air Surfer, but it took out still quite a few people. Yeah, and then we get the Mega Wall and Warp Wall. Warp Wall as always. Yeah, so with that, let's get into the first word of the night, which was Hector Gomez. probably should have been called Chad Flexington too. Here we go. But I get your point. Because this guy right here, he was way too impressed by his own looks. Yep, he flexed to the audience constantly. He had a meal at the start line. His entire story was about him and his looks and being a wrestler. And then he falls on the fourth obstacle. Better than I expected. But definitely not good enough to say, you deserve that. Yeah, I'd say it's kind of annoying, but, it kind of happens. It's never really, it's never... I never really like to see the first one of the night because if it's a veteran, they're going out early. If it's a random rookie, it's going to be a really dumb story. Yeah, I guess it's an alright way to look at it, but I see your point there. At the Hector Gomez, we had Casey Boutit. And that is all I'm going to say about that name because I don't know how to say it correctly. Correct us in the comments, guys. We don't care. But anyway, he fell on Air Surfer. Then we had Zach DePolaro in a fast forward segment who had a pretty unique entrance to the course, riding a freaking motorcycle over to the start line, only for him to fall on overpass. Then we had Wocham Bao, who was a salsa dancer, and I do regret looking that up after this because I was curious. And let's just say I should not have been curious. Why? Let's just say he decided to have a very wide amount of off-topic topics, and I don't really want to discuss it past that. Alright, but anyway, he fell on Air Surfer, and finally we had Megan Budway, a music teacher, who had a pretty unique hairstyle. I know. Yeah, I like it. It kind of reminds me of how I was back in my teenage days, like that emo phase. But even I will admit I never had my hair like that. But I gotta say, I would not minded it. Would your mom even be okay with that? Probably not, actually, now that I think about it. She was always very particular about how my hair was. Like, she was okay with it being long and everything, but she just didn't want it short. I mean, I didn't want it either for most of the time, but she just did not want it short, apparently. Alright, and after Megan Budway, we had Brandon Mears, one of the Towers of Power, and probably one of the saddest ones he's ever had. Yeah, they hyped him up by showing how he's failed on balance obstacles the last 5 seasons. And I honestly thought this was building up to him actually conquering the balance obstacles with decision. But then he makes the wrong decision of going for the spinning log, being the first to do it anyway. Yeah, at this point, everyone chose Domino Effect, and Brandon Mears was the first to choose the spinning log, which, by the way, was very, very, very similar to the Broken Pipes, which you found in Kansas City, so that was not the best decision, as that's where it fell. Yeah, I was really sad to see this. I mean, yeah, I think we should have saw it coming, considering all the hyping up that they did for him. But honestly, I'm just kind of mad they did this. Yeah, after him, we had David Daniels, who fell on Domino Effect, Kayla Mack, who fell on Elsa, but did end up moving on in the women's top 5. Then we had Bob Weiss, who honestly looked like Brian Olszewski when I first saw him. I guess you can say that. Yeah. Anyway, Bob Weiss made it all the way to Pretzel Twist, being the second to make it there. And then we had Owen Dyer, one of the 15-year-old rookies. He is known as Flamingo Ninja, and came onto the course with a flamingo hat. Don't ask me why. Okay, then why? I was asking for that. Yes, you were! You would have said don't, which means do in my language. What is it, sign language? Yeah, it is. I'm deaf. It's really doesn't mean deaf, John. Alright, we probably just offended a whole bunch of people by making death jokes. Alright, let's get off this topic. Owen Dyer did really, really well, becoming tonight's first finisher. Heck yeah, and after him we had Christine Carl's son, who fell on overpass. And yes, she is in a fast forward segment. That's what we're barely talking about. And then we had Landon Naga, who fell on the air server. And then we had a very impressive one from Alyssa Verasano. Yes, Alyssa Verasano had a segment about her competing with her husband for the first time. She did really well at AW11, so she was pretty confident. And she was right to be confident. She made it all the way to the fifth obstacle, being one of only 2 women to do it. And her hands kind of just peeled off of Pretzel Twist. And that was that. Yeah, after her, we had Cole Reeves in a fast forward segment. He was the husband of Alyssa Verasano, who made it to the fifth obstacle. His goal was to beat her, which he did not do as he missed out by failing on overpass. Yeah, that's a pretty disappointing one considering how much he was hyped up by his wife. But after him, we had a very impressive one by Ben Whitlow, the Frog Ninja. He had a frog up with Matt Akbar as he was running, and what's just about his fail? Yeah, and so after he unlocked the first Pretzel Twist, he ended up relocking it in, and that ended up freaking him up and jumping his grip, making him fall in the water. Yeah, I didn't think you could even relock it in, but apparently you can. Yeah, after Ben Whitlow, we had Brad Giles, who was a special needs who helps the special needs children. When he ended up making it all the way to Pretzel Twist before falling, which kind of surprised me. And I thought he would be going out a lot earlier, like maybe, I don't know, Domino Effect or something. But yeah, he did really well, surprisingly enough. Yes, and after him we had Michelle Wonky in a fast forward segment. Now, honestly, this was pretty sad and practically death-defying. Because, for one, they decided to hype her up during the split decision phase, which meant she was going to fail on it, making David scream his ass off. Okay, you had to make an embarrassing moment out of myself. Thank you. Well, you kind of deathed us. You kind of just like screamed at the top of your lungs, and well, I don't think I can really do this segment justice without mentioning that at least a little bit to try to lift our suffering. Yeah, because we did watch the episode in person, just to let you guys all know. But anyway, Michelle Wilkie fell on split decision on Domino Effect. We also had Alina Borges, who just barely saved herself on Domino Effect, but then ended up falling on it anyway. Yeah, but then we had, unfortunately, Booty Cawthorn, and who ended up choosing a spinning log and making him fall there. And then we had Austin Hale, who had a story about his wife with, I hope I'm saying this right, but ankylosing spondylitis. And no, I am not saying that again. You can correct me in the comments. I don't care that much. But anyway, Austin Hale actually became the second finisher of the night, so congrats. Yeah, after him we had Vinny Tapier in a fast forward segment. He ended up falling on overpass. We also had Heather Wessler, who ended up falling on air surfer and just barely ended up moving on to the semifinals in the 5th spot. And then we had Dan Polizzi, who, despite missing the Mega Wall, ended up completing the course, and that was a nice surprise. Yeah, I was glad that he was able to complete the course, because, I was honestly getting a little worried that he was being fast forwarded and all that. It kind of sucks that he missed the Mega Wall, but hey, it happens. But anyway, after him we had Bruce Buckland, and who was the next shown one. He had a story about his dad who dealt with at least 7 years of leukemia. Before dying last year in 2020. It was a kind of a sad story, but before I want to get into this one, I want to mention Rick Nelson and Robin Zano giving a speech to some of the idols. And I just want to say, this honestly sounds scripted, if I'm being honest. Yeah, we all agree on this one. This honestly sounds like they're reading from a script. Like, if you could write the clip, I would love you to.
And Rick from Cheap Trick, go hit that buzzer. Well, sure, your dad will be so proud of you.
He'll be so proud of you.
Just picture Rick's face on the buzzer.
Huh?
I probably could I probably could. But I'd say, like, just listen to how they say your dad. You see the pause in there. Like he's trying to see what the next line is. So it sounds like, once again, they're reading off a script. I don't know for sure, obviously, but it really does sound like they're reading off a script. Not helping these is the fact that during this episode they were promoting a show called College Something. I don't recall the name exactly. But it was another NBC show that they were going to be on, so I feel like they were just promoting that, and that's why they were on there. And that would explain why it sounded like they were reading off a script, but I really don't know. If they were actually there and they were not reading off a script, then congrats. Yeah, but again, it does really sound like it. But anyway, Bruce himself ended up falling an air surfer. And after him, we had Michael Johnson, a fast-forward segment. He ended up making it the pretzel twist. And then we had two veterans who honestly should have had their ones shown. Yeah, we had both Kevin Carbone, who ended up winning the course, and Tyler Gillette, who went for the Mega Wall and just barely missed it. Like, he deserved that. And if he got it, he probably would have been shown. But anyway, Tyler Gillette ended up winning the course. And then we had totally not Drew Dressel, Brett Hernandez Strong. Yeah, I would love to admit a mistake that the producers made. So, back when we covered episode 2, which I wasn't even in, but when we covered episode 2 of AW12, we talked about Drew Dressel being censored doing Ethan Swanson's backflips. That was actually him! Yeah, that was actually him. I felt like maybe I should leave that in, but then I saw him on the list of competitors, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just correct our mistake when we see him? So, actually, if you see the uncensored version of Ethan Swanson's backflip video, which I will show on screen right now, you will see it's actually him and not Drew Dressel. It really does look like him. The headband is what made us think and what probably made the producers think it was him. But no, it wasn't. It was actually just Brett. But anyway, he did really, really well, becoming the youngest at the time, mind you, to get to the top of the Mega Wall. So yeah, he was the second to do it this season. Yes, really good for him. I kind of wish I had more to say about that, but man, it's still really good to see anyone get to the top of the wall. Yeah, especially a rookie, because this was a record in terms of the youngest, because previously it was 20 at Scott Wilson at age 20. So now it was Brett Hernandez Strong at age 19, and while it was beaten by another competitor later on in the episode, it was still a really impressive one, and it's so good to see someone get to the top of the Mega Wall. Oh yeah, definitely. And after him, we had Devin Harrison, also known as Dougie Fresh. He ended up falling on, pretzel twist. You had to wait that second to think of it. Yes, this is why I don't take the leads in most segments. But anyway, after him, we had Max Feinberg, who ended up completing the course. And finally, we had Charlie Leblanek, also known as the Mermaid Ninja. She had a story about her basically taking the boat life into consideration, living on a boat, and it's a unique way to live. But I think if my mother would literally sell all our belongings and just say, we're living on a boat now, and I would probably not be happy because I'm not that type of person. I wouldn't be all that embraced in nature, and I don't think I would really enjoy living on a boat because I think I would find it really, really boring. That's just me. I don't know what you guys would think or what you two think, actually. I think it kind of depends, you know? I don't think I would mind it, but I feel like my brother would probably get really seasick. Like, he really did not like he could swim, but if it was like a very long, car ride, he would get sick, so I think the boat ride would make him sick, which kind of sucks in a way, but that's how I honestly think. Yeah, the boat ride's a pretty interesting concept, but anyway, Shawnee made it all the way to pretzel twist, That's where she just missed the handhold. And after her, we had Amir Malik in a fast forward segment. He ended up winning the course along with RJ Roman, who got the fastest time of the night. And then we had Grant McCartney. Yeah, last time we've already commented about his beard, so it would be very redundant to talk about it again. But again, the beard doesn't look good on him. But anyway, he had a kind of a unique story actually, as he went with Nick Hansen to Alaska and decided to dig under an iceberg and swim in the ice water. I would not want to be in that situation. I would not volunteer to do that. I would not want to do that. Maybe if my life depended on it, but I would not want to. Just do it reluctantly. Yeah, basically, at that point. By the way, Grant made it to Air Surfer, and fortunately for us, but unfortunately for probably you guys, did not end up moving on by one spot. It was like the third time that happened. And then we had Nick Hansen, who unfortunately had the same exact fate, falling on Air Surfer and not making it to the finals. So that kind of sucked for him. I honestly want to see him get the Mega Wall, but that means that Ryan Stratus is the only one left who could potentially get it 3 times in a row. So let's hope he ends up doing it. Again, I haven't looked at the whistle lines. I don't even know if he's completing the season, but it would make a lot of sense. Yeah, but I feel like if they do show him, they would really omit the fact that he's going to be on every season by AW12, because just saying that sounds kind of weird. Or they would do something like, say, AW12 never happened, it was canceled. Just for that one, they say AW12 never happened, and this was the 12th season. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, I actually have noticed that we haven't seen any of the all-season veterans yet. Yeah, you're right, actually. I mean, there's only 3 of them, but yeah, you're right. So I do hope all of them are competing. I'm pretty sure that I saw David Campbell on the list. So yeah, I'd say at least David Campbell's competing. But if Lauren Ball and Ryan Quetch aren't competing, that would be kind of sad. Yeah, but anyway, after Nick Hansen, we had Enzo De Ferraro Wilson, who is the youngest competitor ever to complete a course now. Yes, he was, at the time of filming the episode, he was only 15 by 1 month, by a month and a half. But yeah, he did really well to win the course. And then we saw Brett Sims. And I want to say, can we just have a re-release of AW1 with these 1080p camera archives? Yeah, that show aired in, I think, 480p at best, because it was back in 2009. But this showed it in HD quality. Please, let us see these, man. I would love to, because these were top-notch quality HD, and we had never seen them before. Yeah, they showed them on AW1. But aside from that, he had a win course. Yeah, and on the topic of Brett Sims, I decided to look it up to see if Grace Sims competed tonight. As we saw on the sidelines, she did end up falling on Domino Effect, and her one was cut, so that's kind of sad. Yep, and then we had the final winner of the night, Vance Walker. Hell yeah, Vance Walker. He was a 2-time champ of American Enjoy Junior, won both seasons of the 13 and 14-year-olds. A very heavy dominance. And he made it all the way to a freaking Mega Wall, dude. This was probably the most hype one of the episode. You can't say it wasn't. Is it like Vance? He did really, really well. He is now the youngest at the Mega Wall at 16. And honestly, I don't think anyone could top him. And I feel like he has a very, very, very good shot at making it to Vegas. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I'd say he can probably at least make it to stage 2 if I was a betting girl. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And now we have 3 competitors who weren't necessarily cut, but were shown briefly on Akbar's Bazaar Moments. And we had Josh Wagner falling on Pretzel Twist, and Tony Miles, who ended up falling on Pretzel Twist as well, squeezing in the 29th spot. Yes, And then finally, we had Jessica Helmer. Well, NW12, she ended up falling on Domino Effect, and she was also doing Outbuzz Bozzy moments. And then we have the cut ones for this episode. Yes, for this episode, we had, in no particular order, Wheelie Quinn, Nico Gwentry, Kenny Train, Shaq Lech, Deshaun Harris, Josiah Singleton, Todd Bogios, is how we say that, and Glenn Davis, all falling on Foot Soldiers. And Lenny Lopez, who just barely squeezed into the top 30, and he falling on Air Surfer, and he made it in the 30th spot. And that is it for episode 3 of American Ninja Warrior 13. Heck yes! This episode was really good, a lot of fun to cover. And it kind of sucks that we're going to have to be waiting another 3 weeks to cover the next. I know, but can you just let me have the time of my life over here? No, it's fine, dude. You had some of your life. You haven't been this far in the world in 9 years. Have your fun! I'm just saying, I just kind of wish we weren't going to be behind when we get back to this. Yeah, it kind of sucks. But, just to let you guys all know that the next podcast episode won't be till mid-July. Probably not till the end of the month. But we'll cover the next 2 episodes, episodes 4 and 5 of the season. It might be a little bit of a longer episode because of that. But that's just the quickest way I found structure and something I can catch up quickly. And then wouldn't be surprised if we had to do the semifinals in one episode too. Like the first 2 rounds of the semifinals, we had to do that in one episode. But anyway, with the part 3 of the semifinals, we should be back on track, honestly, I would think. But anyway, we'll see how those structure and we'll see how those go. Oh, after all, and so while I'm gone, you will still see montages every Saturday while I'm gone. So probably 3. I'd say at least 2 montages, maybe 3, depending on if I feel good for the third week. So yeah, that's gonna be the last such a thing, but you will see, and I will see you guys next time in 3 weeks. So this will be fun, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.